Welcome to the Dynasty Dads Podcast. Football, rankings, debates, dad stuff with your host, Justin Williams and Matt Renshaw.
Welcome, everyone, to a Dynasty Dads player profile. This episode is brought to you by dynastytradecalculator.com.
Stop guessing. Start calculating. Justin, you remember who drafted Nick Foles?
Oh, no.
Eagles.
Fair.
Do you remember where he was traded and for who?
Nope.
Got traded for Sam Bradford. Traded him to the good old. At that time, they were the St. Louis Rams. In Foles' 7 years in the league, he's only had one losing season. His lone year in St. Louis, he finished 4-7 as a starter. But let's explain that away with Jeff Fisher. Before we get to my favorite game, where will he be next year? Let's look at some stats for Mr. Foles. NFL champion? Check. Super Bowl MVP? Check. Another, get on my back, guys. I got this. Run into the playoffs this year. Check. The Eagles had a 4-1 record and 5 starts Foles made filling in for Carson Wentz this season. Foles completed 72.3% of his passes for 1,400 yards, 7 touchdowns, and 4 interceptions. Had a 96.2 passer rating. Can you think of another backup quarterback that's gotten as much attention as Foles has?
Not recently, no.
I couldn't either. So do you think, here's my question, do you think he's a franchise guy or a system quarterback?
I'd have to say it's a system. I mean, that same system, I don't know. I think system. I think he's a talented guy, don't get me wrong. I hate doing that where you pick one or the other.
He hasn't had any success outside of Philly.
Okay.
That just baffles me. So
maybe he's a slow learner, Matt.
Maybe. He looks smarter than Eli Manning, but
who doesn't?
So the Eagles have 2 options this offseason. They can franchise him, paying $25 million a season, and then try to trade him. Or 2, re-sign him, contract extension, and trade Carson Wentz. So,
no.
Where's Foles playing next year? Jags, Broncos, Giants, Eagles?
Broncos are going to draft a guy. He's going to go somewhere where he knows he's going to be the starter. I like him in a Jaguars uniform. I think that could totally work and help that franchise out quite a bit.
I think it makes sense. Yeah. I mean, they brought in the Eagles' old offensive coordinator to coordinate that offense. I just think there's a lot of smoke leading him to Jacksonville. Yeah,
he's not going to sign anywhere as a QB2 or somebody that has to compete. It's going to be somewhere he's a clear starter for that team.
So what if, let's play the hypothetical, he's in Jacksonville. Is he a top 12 quarterback?
No, but it does boost D.D. Westbrook, who I think is getting a lot of hype right now.
Is he?
Yes, he was the...
Are you driving that hype train?
No, he was better than any other wide receiver in Jacksonville this year. He's clearly the number 1 pass option there. 100%. D.D. Westbrook's starting to get a little bit of buzz. It's just, it depends on what they do at that quarterback position. And a vet, way better than any rookie they could go get.
Yeah, he's going to go somewhere. He's got to go somewhere with some cap space because that franchise tag is going to be huge. And it's just...
Huge.
It's just going to be so big. And the Jaguars are going to pay for it.
Perfect. I love it.
So, yeah, I don't know. He hasn't had any success outside of Philly. I worry that he's a system guy.
So what does Dynasty Trade Calculator say is a fair trade for Nick Foles?
So Dynasty Trade Calculator, to come up with a fair trade for Nick Foles, it says a 2021 second-round pick is equivalent to Nick Foles.
It's a great trade.
For which one?
Both. I think if you have some quarterback depth, you don't need him. I think that's a great price to get. And I think if you are somebody that needs a quarterback, that's just going to be kind of a fill-in gap. Maybe you don't have a lot of draft picks this year because you make trades for aging quarterbacks.
Yeah.
I don't know. I like that. I think that's a fair trade.
In this trade scenario, I think I would take Foles. I think he'll get some hot weeks. You obviously need a guy, and a second-round pick 3 years out is nothing. Like, you've got a time to recoup that pick later on down the line, and Foles is going to put up points for you now. So I think I would take Foles. Plus, with quarterbacks playing as long as they have, if Foles is legit, and I've said a couple times, I think he's a system guy, but if he's a legit quarterback, he can play until he's 40. I mean, that's 10 years. He's got Brady play till he's 40. It looks like Roethlisberger and Rivers are going to play till they're 40.
And they've all taken
way more hits. Yeah, I mean, Foles had a couple years off. So, I think I would easily take Foles in that scenario.
Well, perfect. Sounds good. So that's Nick Foles. This player profile has been brought to you by dynastytradecalculator.com.
Stop guessing. start calculating.
Thanks for hanging out with us on another episode of the Dynasty Dads Podcast. Be sure to subscribe on iTunes and follow us on Twitter @DynastyDads. Visit us at our website, dynastydads.com, for articles, news, and notes, Dynasty Dads gear, and more.